Hey guys, so there's a few things you'll need, including water, to be able to explore this artwork, which is inspired by your water poems through literacy. So you'll have watercolor palettes that are a bit different. They're the round ones that we use at school, and play around with having quite a watery brush and also really loading that paint on as well. So you've got a bit of variety of how bold your paint is. The only thing I'll say is try not, when your paper's wet, try not to move your brush over the same spot too often, or you're going to get little paper piles of kind of like little paper ball things, because you've wet and manipulated the paper that the paper will end up starting to lift off. So when it's wet, don't do too much. Just do light brushing. Splatter if you like. Move the water around. Think about how water flows and how you want to represent that in your artwork. There's also some sprays. Make sure you've got a drop sheet today for these activities. Add some water. Stop when you like the look of it, essentially. So I'm going to do a second one. It's good to have a backup, but also explore the same thing but in a different way. So now I'm doing circular kind of motions. It's also good that if I kind of don't end up super happy with the other one, I've got this as an alternative. So I'm using some green teal kind of aqua colors. You could use a little bit of purples in the deeper blue sections. And a variety of different blues will give you more interesting looks. When it's on the drying rack, hopefully in the sun, if it's a sunny day, practice some line work to show movement and, an exploration of water. And you can start with grey lead if you're not super confident, or you can just go in with a fine liner and just explore, I suppose, think about water and see what comes out in your drawing. You might want to do patterns and repetition, or you might just want to do contour flowy lines. So I encourage you though to have a play with it in your doing these lines in your journal while your paint is drying. Make sure it's dry before you draw these lines on. You may have to allow your time out of this prezzo for that if it's not a sunny day. So if you haven't explored these lines in your visual journal, I'd probably go in on this with grey lead first, lightly. Unless you have a really clear idea in your head that you're happy to commit with. But once you do the paint, it's kind of, you can't take it off. So I've also got these gems. I wouldn't put too many on. It will weigh down your paper and make it not display so well. I've also got magic clay that you can explore making shapes, making water kind of inspired shapes. Please don't use too much of that because there is not a huge amount, and whatever's on the trolley is all I have. So it needs to be for any prezzos that are going to be doing this water poetry theme. So they're just for little highlights, for features. And once you've played around and you're happy with where they are, then get some PVA. I believe I've placed some Super Tack, which is really gooey PVA type glue. I believe that's on the rack. Sorry, not on the rack, on the trolley. And when you're happy with the placement, then glue them on. The only thing is, make sure that the gems especially are in an area that's going to be within your circle template. So use this grey template to draw around and then cut it out. So make sure the gems are within that circle before you glue them on. And it looks pretty cool, don't you think? I hope you have fun exploring water with these watercolor paints. All right, see ya.